Imagine this scenario. There's a guy, and let's call him Steve. Steve really values peace and harmony between people, and he tries to treat everyone with kindness. One day he meets a girl, let's call her Amy, and they're both very attracted to each other and they start dating. And for the first few weeks, everything is great. Then she starts postponing dates by 30 minutes, then an hour. No problem, says Steve. Steve will just be happy to see her, even if it's for a little less time than planned. Then Amy cancels their plans at the last minute. Steve feels a bit disappointed, but he tries to be understanding. Amy has a few good reasons, and they seem to make sense. So they rearrange for the next week. And next week comes around, and Amy cancels again, just an hour before they were due to meet. Amy says, "Oh, sorry about this, something came up." And Steve jokes, "Oh well, you can make it up to me next time." And they arrange the next time, and again, Amy cancels. And Steve feels like he definitely isn't being valued, but maybe this could really be just a series of unfortunate events. Amy leaves Steve's message undelivered until 3 days later. Eventually, Amy leaves Steve, and Steve doesn't understand at all. He had tried so hard to be kind and accommodating, so what went wrong? Some people are conflict avoidant by nature and some by nurture. Some maybe both. People like this hold their tongue when someone behaves unreasonable. Perhaps they had a lot of familiarity in their lives of unreasonable behavior exploding into a fight. Perhaps the behavior which resulted in that volatile response didn't even need to be that unreasonable to begin with. And maybe they were told in the face of bad treatment that they should just be patient and focus on the positives. In any case, they have from somewhere picked up the idea that conflict is, and of itself, bad and should be avoided. But managed conflict and defending one's own boundaries is a very important social skill. Without it, not only can we feel helpless in the face of someone displaying behaviors that we don't like, but we allow weeds to grow in our relationships. And those weeds grow and take light and nutrients and what we want away from the parts of the relationship that we want to grow. And unless we root them out, they can become an ever bigger problem. Sometimes we're so starved of connection in our lives that our relationships become things that we convince ourselves that we cannot possibly risk losing. But here's the paradox. If we place a relationship above our own dignity, we are likely to make our partner lose respect for us. And if they lose respect for us, then they lose attraction for us. And so in trying to avoid conflict and in trying to be patient and put up with stuff, we may end up losing the relationship that we were trying to preserve. I notice in myself that I was very bad at stating my boundaries. I would be nice in the face of respect, and then finally pull the plug only when I'd reached my limit, especially when I really liked the girl. I didn't have any warning shots, or I simply didn't say, "I don't like it when you do that." But saying something like that can make a world of difference. So don't be afraid to object when something is important to you. And you don't even have to get angry or raise your voice. In fact, speaking up early is the thing that's most likely to avoid things turning into anger or resentment, as long as you have a partner who you can communicate with. And if they're not someone you can communicate with, well, then they're probably not the right person for you. So don't be afraid to stand up for yourself whenever you need to. You are the only one who can. Please hit the like and subscribe buttons if you haven't already, and thank you very much for listening.